The final bucket that we want to hit on here is the legacy employee, the person who's been around for 20 or 30 years. They're not necessarily going to be considered the next leader of your company. They might be very happy in their role in operations or accounting or HR or wherever it is that they might be. But they have a vast amount of influence culturally in the business. They know everyone, and they're very, very set in the ways that the company's operated for years. Jim, how can that long-term employee support or hurt an executive search process?
Sure. There's an interesting way to look at that, and I think if the company making the change understands the feelings that that person has, and they understand how much their job means to them personally, think of it as space saving. You
Hmm.
need to create a scenario for that executive so that they're honored in the process, even though they're not going to get the top job or the next job, whatever it may be. So the importance here gets back to acknowledging and understanding that that person has real feelings and perhaps has made real serious long-term commitments, is ready for the change, but yet needs to be protected through the change. That's both done by the ownership of the company, but by the person coming in, understanding at the same time that that particular executive is honored and respected in the organization, and that does need to be heard and does need to be listened to. This was, again, there is probably that the thing I could go back and forth with here or in all of these is the tangled web of it,
Hmm.
because the relationships that go on around that person matter also. How everybody else sees that person matters also, and that it isn't overlooked. And I'm not saying that you should kowtow too much to that individual, but a little bit is okay because they have invested a lot of time in the organization, and um, you need to show gratitude for that and understand the commitments that they've made. And I think that's the way around it. And it's real because this is the one that I think is hardest to see. It's the legacy person that's been there that has more influence than they know, and therefore needs to be respected as the transition is happening.
We've seen with companies, these legacy employees cause significant headaches. And those headaches can derail a lot of strategy, but their origin is insecurity related to change. If you've been in a business, if you've been employed by a company for 20 to 30 years, and for the very first time, new leadership is coming in and you know it's happening, and you're not informed and you're not communicated with, all you can see happening is a giant change behind a curtain, and you do not know how it impacts you. And all that's left for you to do is imagine and discuss with your peers about what's going to happen. And now you start thinking about, maybe I should change jobs. What are they going to do to my pay? What's going to change? And that insecurity um, only manifests as trouble. And it's just a question of how much trouble it causes. And the way that we get through it, and we're big advocates for radical transparency. You're not talking to your legacy employees because they're going to be promoted. You're talking to them so that to encourage them to be confident and feel involved, and that the decisions that the family is making for their business are for the benefit of everybody, and that the decision to bringing in new leadership will be a good thing, not something to be afraid of. Wondering if your family, or perhaps one of your clients, if you're not a family business yourself but you work with families, is ready to address succession planning, you can visit our website for all sorts of free resources, including a readiness assessment, as well as an ebook about hiring non-family executives, and a wealth of perspective that can help you explore your own journey in succession planning in your family company.